Hey guys, it's Whitney Louise. This is day 3 in Door County. Luckily, we had another beautiful day where we got to go and run around and do things. But the one thing that we did for most of that day was swimming. It was awesome. The water was great. It had a couple waves, which is great because the kid that was with us loved that it was waving. I kind of did too, floating on those noodles. It was kind of fun. The water is also warmer at Sister Bay Beach for Lake Michigan, so it was nice and we weren't freezing our butts off. There's such a cool dock to jump off of. It's so fun, which we do end up doing later on. So the camera's gonna get a bit jostled here. We were wrestling around in the water, and seems the water was pretty clear because you can see in it when I bring the camera down, which for lake water I'd say was pretty awesome. But yeah, we were wrestling around in the water and having a good time, so sorry if this makes you a little seasick. My husband decided that he was gonna throw around the 7-year-old for some fun, which she really enjoyed. He did that to me a few times too. It was really fun. We just kind of wrestled, ran around, swam. We went out pretty deep. Lots of throwing the child around. Don't worry though, she had her noodle and lots of swim lessons, so she was ready to swim. while we were swimming, we could see a lot of the sailboats and things. There are boats coming in and out. And there are also a lot of paddle boards and things that you can rent on the beach there as well. So that was kind of cool. And it was just fun to go swimming in the water. The water was so warm, the sun was out. It was just a fabulous, fabulous day. The beach gets fairly busy, but it wasn't so bad that, like, you know, we were overly crowded and there was nowhere for us to swim or anything. As you can see, we were pretty much by ourselves in this little section, which was really great. Gave my husband an opportunity to, for some reason, just do a ton of rock hunting. He was really obsessed with finding these big rocks, and there are a lot of really big rocks in there. So do be careful when you're walking, because there are some rocks that were probably bigger than the kid with us. So you gotta watch out for that. Oh, that rock looked like a foot, and we thought it was hilarious that he found a rock that looks like a foot. So like I said before, Luke was on a mission to find all these cool rocks, and he happened to find one that looked like, he kept saying it looked like Africa. I guess it kind of did. It was pretty funny. I think he had a couple of beers and they were starting to get to him. But the Africa rock was pretty cool. We did end up putting it back, and I think we also put the foot rock back. So maybe if you're in Sister Bay, you might find those rocks. Who knows? So at this point, I was just attempting to swim back. I'd swam way far out, now I was trying to swim back. It doesn't look like I'm making much progress. It didn't feel like it either, but I eventually made it back. So I made some type of progress to swim back to them. But it definitely goes out pretty far. It took me a long time to swim back and forth. I'm sure if I didn't have the noodle, I probably would have been moving quicker, but it was a lazy kind of vacation, so. Luke really was up for the wrestling, so he was going after everybody. It was pretty funny. But we had a really great time, and we were all being really silly, so we appreciated his wrestling. So it's a little tough to see out there in the distance as I don't have zoom on this camera, but that like yellowish looking thing out there moving, that was the biggest freaking speedboat I'd ever seen in my life. It was huge and it was freaking fast after it got going. So that was kind of fun to see. It was really crazy though. Like, we could not believe how fast and how big it was. This video cannot do that boat justice. So I am one of the people that really likes being on the beach right where the water hits. So that's kind of what this is. It was jostling me all around because the waves were a little bit higher, but it's one of my favorite things to do is just sit like at the very beginning of the water, and so that's what I did. It was bouncing me all over the place. Of course, then I convinced Luke to come sit with me, and since he had had one too many, don't worry, he's not pouring out his beer, it just had water in it, he had drank it all. Since he'd had one too many, he was flopping all over the place, and it was hilarious. He was having the time of his life, though, so it was okay. Seriously, though, there were some whopping waves at the beginning of the beach hitting me, so it was knocking me over a bit, and I was completely sober, so what does that tell you? See, those waves are just monsters. They're knocking you over. So the ground there is actually covered in like a lot of pea gravel, which wasn't the most comfortable on my feet. I have kind of sensitive feet, but it was okay though. It was kind of cool to see in the water. There's still a lot of sand though, especially once you get into the water a little more. It's all sand after that, so that was good. Of course, since I had made it up to the beginning of the water, I had to sit and watch these honking boats come in and out because they were just cool, and of course I was super envious because I want a boat, and these boats are so pretty and they're so big. So I did not do the dock because I was starting to get a little chilly just from sitting in the water most of the day. I just started to get kind of cold. So Luke and his mom went to jump off the dock. So then me and my cousin swam out to watch them jump in and get it on tape. If you look closely, you can see the guy in the bright green shorts. That'd be Luke and his mom jumping in. And there they go. But the dock is really cool and really fun to jump off of. Later on, I do end up doing it, so that was. This clip is a little out of sync. This was at the beginning of our trip, or the beginning of when we got there and we were going in for a swim. So it took me a long time to walk in there, but thought I would save this for the end, just because it's kind of funny. We were all really cold trying to get into the water, and we looked ridiculous as we got in, and Luke just flipped right on in there. So we were slow to move our bodies into the water. It was pretty chilly. I was freezing my butt off at first. But the water for Lake Michigan itself was actually really warm. I just am a big baby, and apparently the rest of us are as well. So, because after we got used to it, it was fine. Luke, on the other hand, wanted me to drown and kept trying to throw me in the water, and instead I just got jostled into it, freezing my butt off. So that wasn't how I usually like to get in, but I made it in there, so that was good. He's trying to convince me to go underwater, and I wouldn't have it. It was too cold still. It's a little tough to swim whilst holding a camera, so you have to excuse my bumping around as I'm swimming with one arm. So, and I'm like kind of an arm swimmer, not really a leg swimmer, so sorry about that. But thank you so much for watching my video. I will be continuously posting my videos on Sundays and Fridays. So please like, share, and subscribe. That'd be awesome. Thanks so much, guys.